What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph? You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight. Okay, what? Okay, fine. Alright, we're coming back to The Who. Yes, indeed, The Who fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Okay, this comes as a request from Mongolia BCE and Russell Murphy. They both want to see me react to this song. It is The Who, and apparently they did at least some of the music, if not all of the music, for the video game Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Now, have I heard this song before? Obviously I have. I own the game. I played it. I beat it. So I must have heard it. But if you asked me to name a specific part, I couldn't. The music on the video game, if I remember correctly, I remember thinking to myself, it was well written. It was well done. The music fit the game, but it wasn't really all that memorable. It didn't really hook me. But I have heard it, but I do not remember it whatsoever. But I know for a fact I've heard it. But like I said, it's not memorable. So I'm gonna listen to it again. Maybe listening to it without playing the game, it's like I actually focus on the music and nothing else. Maybe that might help. I don't know. We'll find out. This was posted by EA Star Wars. Okay. I've never dealt with EA before. I don't know what their practices are on blocking. I couldn't tell you. I guess we'll find out. And the video has 10.6 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, The Who music video. Apparently it's rated T for teen. Yeah, apparently.
I am the hype!
All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
It doesn't sound familiar. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. Like I said, I've played the game. I've beaten the game several times, actually. It it's got a really decent storyline. Not the best storyline I've ever played from a Star Wars game, but it's got a really good storyline, and nonetheless, one that you do find yourself kind of getting vested into the character quite a bit. So I would hope I would recognize this. I don't. I'm trying to think, where would this have been played? I don't know. I honestly don't know. It sounds good. Don't get me wrong. It sounds really good. I'm going to have to go back and play it again now, because I'm gonna have to really pay attention to the music and find out where in the game this song is used. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what planet it was on. I guess I'll have to go and find out. Anyway, let's keep going. Never ceases to amaze me the range of notes. I mean, the instrument only, I'm not going to go into what the instrument's called and stuff like that, because last time I did that, I just got a whole bunch of hell and a whole bunch of flack from a bunch of people going, oh, you're just trying to be a know-it-all, whatever. I'm not going to deal with it, so I'm not going to mention the name of the instrument. But it never ceases to amaze me how deep and how rich, as far as a range goes, an instrument with just 2 strings can get. That when he bows and he's able to get up that high, and what I'm seeing, he's not even fully depressing the string onto the fretboard. He's literally, sliding up with his finger, hitting the string and keeping it to a certain point, but never fully depressing it all the way down to the neck. That's cool. I mean, I don't know how that works. The only thing I think of is maybe it's because the string is thick enough, or maybe it's the material of the string. It's able to still resonate enough to get a note out. No sustain, obviously, unless you keep the bow pulling across and keeping that bowing active. But it still works, in the range of notes from just 2 strings. It's impressive. It's very impressive. See if I can get my hands on one of those. I'd love to try it out. I know how to bow. I learned how to bow from playing, upright bass in chamber orchestras and symphonic orchestras. So I know how to bow. I would love to try one of those instruments out and see how exactly it works. It looks cool. It looks really cool. I would love to give it a shot. See if I can rent one from somewhere. Anyway, let's keep going here. sounds like we're gonna turn it up a bit. Okay, very cool. I could see the appeal of using this band for the purpose of video games. I could absolutely see the appeal. Their style, that tribal throat style of singing, very, very effective for creating an ambient, resonating sound that is very fitting for certain styles of video. I'm not saying like a Japanese anime video game, obviously it's not going to work, but a game like Star Wars, Fallen Jedi Order, I could absolutely see that. Maybe like the Tomb Raider series, I could see something like that, or Assassin's Creed. I could definitely see this band being used for Assassin's Creed, absolutely, depending on the time. But even then, depending on the time period, I don't even think that's really necessarily a prerequisite. I could see this. I could see this style of song. I could honestly, the the funny thing, where I could really see this being used was in either the Assassin's Creed Origins, where it was in Egypt, or the other place I could see it honestly was Assassin's Creed 3 during the American Revolutionary War. I could have seen that very easily. Maybe Black Flag, possibly Black Flag. I don't know. I kind of like the music that Black Flag had on its own. Or maybe during the Ezio Auditore trilogy, possibly. Maybe for Brotherhood. That's still my favorite Assassin's Creed game, by the way. Brotherhood. Love that game. I could actually see this song being used in that. Absolutely. Going through the catacombs? Yes. See, that's what I'm talking about. I could absolutely see this band being utilized in video games far into the future. These guys have a bright future in video game composition and writing songs and performing songs for the purpose of video games. I could totally see these guys making a career out of that. And from what I understand, it pays well. Like, really well. So, they could make a really good living doing it. I would love to hear more from these guys in video games. I think they're absolutely conducive. Their music's absolutely conducive to video games. Anyway, it sounds like we're going to speed up here. Let's keep going. Nice. I'm digging the groove on this part. Oh, man, am I digging the groove on this part. Don't get me wrong. The first part was nice. The first part was cool. Like I said, I see the appeal, and I can absolutely see it being used in video games. This part, where it's kicked into that sped up feel, I don't think it was double time. It was just, they just increased the tempo. Man, is it rocking. It is absolutely rocking. It's got a great groove. Great drive, great energy. Putting the instruments at the forefront and letting the vocals still be there and still resonate, but vocals are not being put more in the background, giving the instrumentation a chance to shine. I dig that. I really dig that. It's like the first half was the vocals shining, now it's the instruments shining. I dig it. I can absolutely dig it. Let's keep going. How they end. So Judas Priestish. So Judas Priestish with those accent hits on the end. Ba 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 ba. Yeah, it's so Judas Priestish. It's great though. It's great. It's very well done. It's not a knock in any way, shape, or form on them. Or on Judas Priest for that matter, but it's so Fuel for Life, or actually going back before Screaming for Vengeance tour, how they would end their shows. Yeah, it's very reminiscent, but very well done, and great accents all together in unison. Sounds really cool. Out, yeah, and with that big E. Yeah, really well done. Really well done. Very impressive. I've got to play the game again now. I have to because I want to find out where in the game this music happens, especially that second half. That second half flew by. Let me gather my thoughts. I have some thoughts on this. Not a lot, but I have a few. I'll see you in the review. We'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was The Who with their appearance on the video game Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. This was a request from Mongolia BCE and Russell Murphy. Okay, I have my score. I do have my score, and I will give you my reasonings for having this score in 5 minutes or less. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that an 8.6. Yep, 8.6. I feel great about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, the first half of the song, I was going to give that around an 8.1. Okay, I'll be honest with you. It was good. It was really good. As a matter of fact, it was great. It was really well written, really well done, really well executed. Really putting the throat singing more at the forefront and having the instrumentation be a little more in the background, very appropriate for the tempo and the pacing and the feel of the song. I got no issue with that whatsoever. The drumming on it was fantastic, really kind of setting it up for the pace and feel, but not just from the fact that they were having drums, but the tone that the drums were getting, the sounds that the drums were getting, the resonance of the drums, how they had such great reverb edited in and mixed in with it. Really nice job. I was very impressed with the drumming more than anything on it. Don't get me wrong, the throat singing was nice. It was nice, but what really did it for me in that first half was the drumming, I think. It really kind of shined. The use of the, it's got a lot of names. I've heard it called a Jew harp. I've heard it called a jaw harp. I prefer jaw harp. I've heard some people call it a mouth harp, but I have to correct them because that's not a mouth harp. Harmonicas are mouth harps. Don't you ever let a blues player hear you call that instrument a mouth harp. They will rail you. But the use of that jaw harp was a nice touch. I think they've used that before some other songs, that they've done. I've just never really paid attention to it. I guess it didn't click with me for one reason or another. But in this song, it definitely clicked and it definitely fit, and it really kind of added an additional layer to the song and to the ambience of the song. So really nice job on that first half. Now let's talk about the second half, shall we? That second half, when it kicked in and it went into overdrive, and it took off rocking. I would have given that about a 9.1, if I'm being honest with you. That was fantastic. I loved the second half. It was rocking. It had a great pulse, great beat, great feel, great drive, great energy. Everything about it was fantastic. Loved it. I also like how we had that little dynamic shift between the instruments and the vocals. Vocals switching places with the instrumentation. So now the instruments are more up at the front, vocals a little more in the back, until the apex of the song, where we started to come to the ending and they started doing their who's, who, and they started getting that drive, that marching off to war type of feel. And that's when it really kind of kicked in for me into like, oh my God, where's my spear? Where's my sword? I'm ready. I am ready, man. Let's march off to war. Yeah, that got me. I know people are probably gonna give me hell for being a know-it-all. I don't really care. I gotta give a big shout out to the guy playing the Morinkur. That Morinkur, wow, that work on it was fantastic. Almost treating it like a guitar solo. It was fantastic. And what I've loved about it is, and I love about that instrument in general, is it's got 2 strings. That's it. It has 2 strings, and he's able to get that kind of range out of those 2 strings, sliding all the way up to the resonance chamber and right over it even, to be able to get the high notes that he wants to get. When you don't have frets, you gotta know those instruments. You've got to know that instrument inside and out to be as accurate as he is, because unlike a guitar or a bass, there are no frets. There are no frets to help you. You just have to know where your finger needs to be placed to get the exact note you want without being sharp or flat. And here's the thing, the higher up you go on that string, the less space you have to work with, the less forgiveness you have. If you go up higher in the string, you gotta be even more spot on than you are when you're down at the bottom. So big shout out to the guy playing the Morinkur. That was very impressive. Very, very impressive. Yeah, go ahead. Bring your hate. Go ahead. Oh, you're just going to be a know-it-all. Bring it on. Bring it on. Hey, you know what? At least I know what a Morinkur is. You probably never even heard of it. So there you go. Anyway, I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed that second half especially. But I enjoyed the first half too. I just happen to enjoy the second half more. So what do? We take the 8.1, we take the 9.1, you add them together, cut them in half. What do you get? 8.6. If you need a calculator, do it on your own time, not on mine, okay? Seriously, if you don't know about averages, go back to school. I think an 8.6 is a very fair score for this. I think it's a very appropriate score for this, and that is why we're going to stay with the 8.6. So, 8.6, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you did enjoy the show and you would like to see more videos like this, feel free to join the fan base by clicking on that button down there. Yeah, you know the button I'm talking about. Click on that button, join the fan base, and become one of us. Now, for whatever reason, if you don't feel like clicking on that button, that's okay. I still respect you. Also, if you did enjoy the video, please feel free to give the video a thumbs up. It'll do me a world of good and it will do you absolutely no harm whatsoever. Finally, if you guys do join the fan base, you will find a bell down there that you can click on. By clicking on that bell, it'll keep you up to date on everything happening with this channel, including when new content gets dropped. So, if you want to stay in the know, click on the bell and you'll stay in the know. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Until next time, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.